Alright guys, welcome back. This is Frank again with Airlines Tycoon Manager. The first video I did kind of on a 168. This is a more outdated, and I'm going to show you again how to do a 168, but I'm going to talk about some of the online tools so you guys can do it more effectively. So real quick here for those that haven't seen it or don't, are still a little hazy on the 168. I'm just gonna pick a plane here real quick, uh, just so you can just get the idea. So the concept behind the 168 is simply to fill the schedule, right? I mean, um, you've all seen this already. So this right here would be this would be hour one, and then this would be hour 168. So um, the point of it is just to fill it up. Not only does it gives your plane 100% utilization, but it keeps your plane in the air, so it's not sitting around. Now, by that definition, I mean a 168 can be anything. It can be two 12-hour routes, it could be a 24-hour routes, or it could be multiple 8-hour routes. It's completely up to you. The point is to fill this up as much as you can. That way you can utilize the entire week. Okay, right? Because this is Monday through Sunday, and you get 24 in each. So the other thing too is that you'll hear the experienced players suggest, though it's completely up to you how you want to do it, how to do a 168. I mean, but obviously I can do a 168 on one single plane and be done with it if I did 24-hour routes. But one that's a little bit more profitable, and that is to use 7 planes and 7 routes. Okay, because if you go over 24 hours, there's a good chance you're going to hit that range of your economy entertainment bonus that you can get if you fly your route between 10,050 and 13,999 kilometers, right? That's the sweet spot. That gives you the highest percentage on your demand bonus, which is 88%. So if you go over 14,000, now you're ultra long haul, and now your demand just went down to 26%. So though I can't stop you from doing that either. So if you're doing routes that long, then there's no way you're going to be able to do that in a 24-hour route, because that, and I'm going from memory here, it's just under 10,000 kilometers. Okay, so if you look up any route anywhere, end to end, a 24 route is around 98 to 99,000, or excuse me, 9,900 kilometers, which is well below that entertainment, that highest entertainment. In fact, if you go 10,000, it's only 66%. So going over a little bit, that does mean you're going to overlap all of Monday into Tuesday, and then you would start another one from Tuesday into Wednesday, and so forth and so forth. So you'll have maybe one or two routes that might be a little low, right? I mean, 20 hours or 22, but that's okay. At least you have a big portion of that circuit, that 168 circuit scheme, going as long as you can. Now, again, there's nothing stopping you from doing 6 routes. Okay, a 6 route 7 plane. That's 28 hours for each route. That will fill it up. That'll give you 168. But now, you now have one day floating, because you'll be flying. Eventually, you'll be flying and taking up an entire day where nothing takes off on one of these days. So now you have one day demands that are offset from the other one. That's the other benefit of doing 7 plane 7 route, is that your demands evenly go down, because you're taking off Monday, Tuesday through Sunday. So you have a plane for each day. Okay, so that's the cool thing. It makes it price increasing a lot easier, because if you need to raise your prices again, you're supposed to do it before you do the route. I'm going to do a separate video on that. But you should do your what do you call it? You should always do your pricing before you do a route. So usually the way the sequence is that, you buy a route, and then you look at the demands, and then you look at those demands, and then decide what plane you need. You don't buy the plane first and then get your route. That doesn't make sense, because you don't know what your demands are going to be. So it's always good to buy your routes first, then see what the numbers are, know what plane you need, how many you're going to need, and then you can go from there. But when you're doing that, you need to up your prices. Okay, you need to up your prices. And when you're upping your prices, it's not for one day. It's all week. Okay, so it's for the whole week, and so you want to make sure that gets done. Okay, so as far as looking at online tools, we can do that by I'm going to show you a website where you can do a 168, how you do it. Okay, there are online tools, and that is just to simply come to the web. Okay, and I'm just going to minimize this, open this up. So you probably recognize this. Okay, this is the official Play Ryan route finder. Okay, so this one is very simple. It's not that complicated. Put your hub here. I'll just put JFK, and then choose your plane. Many of you like the Airbus 380. I will not go into reasons why that is not the best plane, but I will use the plane that I usually will use, and that is, well, if I can find it, there it is. So the 747-200. Okay, so that is a Min-Cat 7, so I'm going to do 7 here. Leave this maxed at 10. Now, don't leave this at 1, because what will happen is that you're going to get every airport under the sun, but the route finder will give you an X because the plane can't go there. So why bother doing that? So if the plane has a category already here, just put that as the minimum, and then I can just do 20. You know what? In fact, I'm going to do 24 just for the heck of it, and then I'll just hit submit. Now this thing is going to give me all the 24-hour routes using this plane from JFK. Okay, so, and there they are. Not many of them, but look at the distance. Remember, we went over this a few minutes ago. See, it's just a hair under 10,000. And so, after a while, when you've done this for a long time, you kind of already know how far it is based on the duration. And then this lets you, this does let you filter them, you know. But that's it. That's the official Play Ryan route finder. It's not bad. But here is there is another website that I recommend you use, and it's the one that I use, because this one is made by players. Okay, so this one is kind of developed by a group of players, high-ranking players, or maybe they're just not high-ranking. Maybe they're just numbers guys. I don't know. I do know a couple of them, and I know they're high-ranking. So. But basically what they did here is they did here what this should have been. Okay, so so you see here you have the route finder, which is basically very similar to this one. Okay. Then you have aircraft finder. In a nutshell, I mean, I want to go from this airport to this airport and give me all the airplane types that can go there. You know, so it'll tell you what planes that can go from here to there. Price finder. This allows you to change your prices. I don't use this. I've never used this. I actually use a different tool for this, um, and I'll go over that in a separate video. And you got the perfect seat finder. This is if you want to do tri-class, okay. You put in your specifics. Your hub that you're flying out of, the plane you're using, uh, the airport you're going to, and then you do got to do a fresh audit. So you do the fresh audit demands, and then add the circuit. And what it will do is that it will tell you in waves how many planes you will need, the configuration for each plane, be it economy, business, first class, and cargo. If you're doing that, they added this button here, the disable cargo, um, and so that's kind of how that works. But the one that I use the most always is this one. This is the circuit finder, and so now I can put, let's say J and B, because I was doing some routes on that one. My plane, 168. They did add some other filters here. I think in the early days, I think it just had 168 and 24. Don't hold me to that, but it they added a lot more options here. And then of course you got your strategy, whether you want to do tri-class or economy. Here's the legacy algorithms right here. Um, so um, this is what it used to be. So they just updated this. I think like 2 months ago, and this website is updated pretty frequently, as you can see there. And so they do a good job on that. But I go ahead and I always cross-reference from passenger economy to legacy algorithm economy. They are slightly different, and I'll explain why in a minute. So I'll just leave this as passenger economy. Obviously long haul. You do have mid, short, and mix. Um, and then you can see that check mark here, as if the developers know, don't go over 14. Okay, so actually the game tells you that too. If you go to the help section, it will tell you that 14 and over is classified as ultra long haul, and that's where you're bringing in the Airbus 350 ultra long haul. I believe the 787-900 goes pretty far too. The Airbus 380 goes far too, but I'm not going this. I'm not going this far anyway. So because of my bonuses that I want, so I keep it under this. So I have that check mark. All regions they added here, so you can actually tell it where you want to go. But I tell it, you know what, give me everything, and then 7 routes. Okay. I actually have tried, just for the heck of it, 5, 6 routes, just to see, and it was a pain. Um, it was it got messy because I had a couple days where I couldn't. I had a lot of demand for one day, but I had nothing for the other days. So that meant I had to have other routes to fill in the rest of the week where I didn't have demands, just to fill in that one. So 7 route is just a lot easier to do in my opinion, but you can do it however you want. The stars, I leave it to any. I'll explain to you what this is in a minute. Because leaving it at any, it gives me everything. Then you have some filters right here. This will tell you whether to include an airport specifically, or to not include one. So if you've already been doing routes on a particular hub, and then let's just say later you decide, oh, I want to try a 168 circuit. I've never done those. I've always done 24 hour. There's a good chance that when you hit the search, that in that list of 7 routes, there's a good chance that one of the routes that's in there you already have. So obviously you don't want that in there. So if I'm doing one for Johannesburg, obviously one thing that I always do here, but it doesn't really come up that much. The airports to exclude, I always put my hubs, the hubs that I own, right? So I have JFK, San Francisco. Not that it would come up, but that's not the point I'm making. Bombay, Bangkok, UKK, and I can just keep on going. So rather than have them add that into the equation, I just tell it, you know what, just don't give me these routes, because I own these hubs. Or remember, if you're trying to buy a route from a hub and it doesn't come up on the list, or it doesn't let you buy it from that hub, there's a good chance you're flying there already from the other airport you're flying to. Maybe the airport you're flying to is already a hub of yours. So it's not going to let you buy the route twice. Remember, all flights are round trip, so it doesn't let you buy the route twice. So okay, so I just put those in there just to exclude. I usually leave it blank anyway. So here we go. So I hit the search, and now it's giving me 7 possible routes that I can fly to from Johannesburg. Okay, so you can see here China, Thailand, Australia, Venezuela, Delhi, Malaysia, and you can see all the flight times. Not one of these are 24 hours. There's a couple of little short ones, but like I said, we kind of expected that because I do want to fly a little bit longer than 24 hours. So it kind of mixes it in, right? And they all add to 168. Okay, now I take it a step further. Now this is what I do. Okay, notice that when I hit the search, it only gave me 2 options. Okay, by the way, you'll notice this one has that explanation. This one is giving you 6 long ones. Okay, look at the distance. They're all over 10,000. Okay, they're all hitting that 88% bonus spot. Okay, so it looks like this setup here, this passenger economy one, adds this last one in as a filler. Okay, I mean, honestly, I'm not putting this in. Okay, I'm just not. But I do like this setup though. But here is what I do. Okay, what I do is that I take a notebook out and I make 7 columns, and then I write down in each column the hours, because you notice it only gave me 2 of them. Okay, so let's look at this first one, 2730. Okay, what I'll do here is that, well, I'll go ahead and show you this Excel spreadsheet that I did, and then just so you guys can see. Okay, and you can see here I got a 168 sitting here, and here's 2915, here's 28, 20, 30, 45, and so on and so on. Now you'll notice that I do have 2 of them here, and I'll explain to you why. You see this 2830? You can see this 2830? That's these 3. Okay, it only gave me actually 4 routes. I just didn't put the 4th one in. So I went ahead and took out the 30 minutes and looked up 28 hours, and that gave me all these. So that's how they're color coded that way. That's how I do it. Okay, if you're doing it a different way, I'm not trying to get you to do things different. I'm just sharing with you guys how I do it. But in any case, so I have a 168 going all the way across, and so this is all 2915, 28, 24, and so on and so on and so on. So what I'll do here is that I'll take this 2915, and then remember the website. I'll come back here, and then I'll just come back to this area right here, Route Finder. Okay, and here's Route Finder. Here's JNB, my plane, and then I'll come over here and I'll do 7 to 10. That's the category. And then what was that? 2815, whatever it was. Okay, 2815. Okay, my neighbor, his motorcycle. Sorry. And okay, so I have that here, and then I'll do any, all regions, and then I'll make sure that's check mark. It doesn't matter, my plane doesn't go that far anyway. But I'll go ahead and hit search, and it's giving me 7 results out of Johannesburg for 28 hours and 15. Boom. So what I'll do now is that I will write all these routes here under 2815, and then I'll do that and put that in my little notebook. Oops, sorry about that. And then I'll put that right here. Okay, my point to that is that I don't have to go back to the 168 builder and do all this again. I now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 potential 168 circuits done. Now I do gotta look for some more here. Okay. By the way, my color scheme that you're seeing here, the ones with the black, those are done already. This is actually another 168 hour scheme that I have here. So I had some of these routes built on another setup of 168s that I did, I think I did Saturday. Okay, so today's Wednesday. So, and yeah, so that's how I do it. And so once I have all this done, I'll go ahead and buy my routes, and then I will go ahead and start building stuff. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So, excuse me. So I already have my my planes built, or my planes ordered, my routes done. Actually, we're about to do a third wave on a route. Okay, so let's get to it. So what I like to do is I like to hit my planes. Okay, my aircraft. This is how I do it. J&B, and then use, and then there are my 7 planes. Now you'll notice that I label my planes. Okay, so the way you read that, and again, if you have your own naming convention, that's fine. You know, to each his own. You don't have to do it like me. Like I said, I'm just showing you what I'm doing. Okay, but this right here, this is my hub. This is my 10th 168. This is my 3rd wave, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all the way to Sunday. So there are my 7 planes. Okay, you can see that the configuration's all economy. Okay, so what I'll do here is that I'll tap on Monday. Okay, and then hit schedule. Okay, and then I already know which one it is. So you'll notice here that this gives me, by the way, this, if you tap on this list right here, this access list. If you buy your routes in order, they come out in order here. That's why I like to make sure I have this stuff written down, and then that way when I purchase my route, I'm purchasing the 168 in the order I'm going to put them in, because it's easy for me to find right here. So, what was that? That was she, wasn't it? Yeah, there it is. So there's she, and then I'm just going to put this here. And I'm already expecting a little problem here, which I'm going to show you. I started to fix it, but then I thought, well, you know what? I'm going to do it, get it on vid, so you guys can see how it's done. There's Warsaw, Frankfurt, Tass. Now I already know that this last one is not going to fit. So you'll notice this 2230 is going to give me a minus 98. Now I could go ahead and leave it in there. Here's the beauty of the 7 route. Okay, notice how my finger, I haven't let it go. My finger is still here. Okay, you just can't see it. I'm doing it on the iPad. So if I go to Saturday, now look at my demands on top. Okay, it's saying that it'll send 1,092, but coming back, you see how the little arrow's going down? It goes to a minus or a negative 98. That means coming back, it's going to have 98 seats empty. Okay, so if I go to Saturday, same thing. Friday, same thing. See how I'm going up? See how the demand is the same? This is an easy fix. I could just leave it here. You know what? I'm going to leave it here, and then in the next video I'll show you guys how to fix it. Okay, but what I was going to do is I was not going to put this CPH in here, but instead look for another route that I know I have passenger demand that's close to 2230. That's the other thing about this, guys, is that sometimes you're not going to have all your routes the 168 perfect. You might have a 167 or a 167 and a half. Hey man, as long as you get in fact, I mean, look at that one. Look at this one. I still had this. Look at the very end right here. I still had a little gap here. But you know what? This plane's full. Okay? So, I'm not going to cry about it. Okay? So, but what I was going to show you is that I had already saw another route in here, and I was going to use that one. And I thought, you know what, I can use that, or I can, what was that, 22? I was going to use Hamburg. Sorry if I said that wrong. I was going to use this. Look how much demand is left for that one. See how I'm tapping in the little bubbles on the side? Look at that. See, the demands are the same every day. I could use this one, but you know what? I want to zero this guy out. So I'd rather leave Hamburg, which is almost 2 planes, for another route. So I'm going to leave CPH in there, and we will zero that out, and I'll walk you through that in the next video. Okay, so I'm going to copy to schedule. So here's the cool thing about this, is that I have this copy schedule button right here. Okay, now I can do this 6 more times, but man, that takes too long. So just copy schedule, and then just hit the usage button. There they are. So the way the 168 works is that here's Tuesday. Tuesday is going to be 24 plus 24. Wednesday is going to be 2 days. And then Thursday is going to be 3. See the sequence here now? Friday is going to be 4. Saturday is going to be 5. And I've done this so many times, I already know how it is. 5. And then Sunday is 6. See, here's the other beauty of labeling your airplanes. Look at all my other stuff. They're the same, but you see they're different days. They're different days. They're different. What do you call it? Different 168 routes. Different waves on those routes. So this way it's easy for me to find. Okay. So that's why I do it that way. Now when I'm done with this, I'm gonna dump the plane label on my Excel spreadsheet so I know where everything is at. Okay, I know you guys get lazy, so do I. I admit it. I get lazy. I don't want to do it. But if I don't do it, and then I start seeing reg negative passenger demands everywhere, it's going to be easier to find. Okay, trust me on that. And so I'm going to hit confirm. This little area right here, be aware, you will only see one plane type at a time. So if you're running all kinds of different planes, you will not see like an Airbus 380 mixed in with this guy because the seat count is different. Okay, so and the model is different. I guess that's how they do it. So you'll just see one plane type at a time. All right, so I'm going to hit confirm, and then there is my box telling me, hey, the 10th one, the third wave, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday through Sunday, we're good. I hit validate. By the way, if it does get done wrong, it will tell you. And it says, hey, you're good. Everything was copied over. I now have 7 planes full. And they will take off in 2 hours. Okay, and I'll hit OK that. Now, this is something that I do just to be on the safe side because I kind of notice this sometimes happens. But I want to make sure that those planes got filled up. So what I'll do is that I'll hit the plane, and then I'll go to my aircraft, and then I'll filter this to my hub, and then change this to where, because there's a good chance the planes you just put in are brand new. And look at that, 86%. Notice how 6 of them are all the same, except for which one? Can you see it? Monday. Because Monday we did manually. Remember? So the question is it missed one. The other 6 say 86%. So there's no question. There's a route missing. So which one is it? So let's look at the 99 just to refresh our memory. And we got She, Peck, UPG, Warsaw, Frankfurt, TAS, and then CPH. Okay, that's pretty easy. Okay, so now let's go back and let's hit this 9086 for Thursday. And I know it missed one, so Frankfurt, TAS. You know which one it was? It was CPH. Come on, that was an easy one. That was kind of easy. Now remember, it says 98, a neg 98 on the passenger demand. It means that I'm coming back with 98 folks shy, right? So, but we're gonna fix that in the next video. Okay, so let's just go ahead and fill this guy up, and see how that jumped up to from 89 to 99. Okay, and then now we know which one's missing. And then we'll just go back. 99. And there's no need to hit the finish. What you're looking for is the schedule to go, or your utilization to go. Okay, so there it is. 99, we're good. I kind of got lucky with this on the video, because usually it sometimes misses 2 of them, and it's like, oh, I gotta write it down. Okay, so that's 99. And then Tuesday. So after a while, when you've done this so many times, you kind of just fly right through it. But trust me, I'm just adding that last route. Oh, iPad finally get the bullet. Not there, okay. Okay, come on, 99. Well, I know I did. There you are, 99. Okay, and then here's the last one, Wednesday. Okay, guys, so that is it. I did a 168. I showed you the online tools, um, and those tools are really nice. I showed you how I do my 168s, writing them down in a notebook. I hope the video was informative. I'd like to thank you for watching. If you have any questions, just ask. I'm not claiming that I'm an expert at this. I learned everything I've learned from experienced players. I started off with JFK, and trust me, my first hub is JFK is really messed up. I should pull everything out of it and just rebuild it from scratch, but I'm too lazy. So that's it. I mean, I'm trying to think what else to mention here regarding the routes. I am going to cover in the next video, I will cover, not this, pricing. Okay, so we'll go over some pricing here, pricing the tickets, and then I'll show you how to read these buttons down here. You can get a lot of intel from typical week and manage prices. Those two buttons are like gold in this program, or rather in this window. Okay, so we'll stop right here and we'll jump into the next video of fixing that one route that we just had, and minus the negative 98 demand, and I'm going to show you how to fix that, because I know a lot of you guys that are new, you know, I totally get it. You're learning still, make a lot of mistakes. I did them too. I still do them. And so now I'm going to show you how you can fix that. Okay? So I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video. Later, guys.